Hello, this is Starman, and welcome back to Let's Play Discworld 2. Well, we're here at Unseen University, and we already cleared out the dining hall, so let's go check out the high-energy facility. Now, there's quite a few things that we can examine here, and quite a lot to pick up as well. You'll note that we have three younger wizards here. We've got Skaz, Mad Drongo, and Ponder Stibbons, who are characters from the books, although none of them is really a major figure, with the exception of Ponder, although Ponder's design here looks nothing like the Ponder from the Discworld books, who resembles Harry Potter to such a degree that people accused him of being a rip-off character, even though they have nothing in common apart from being studious-looking young men who have, you know, glasses that get broken a lot and straight black hair and green eyes. But that's neither here nor there. And so we've got a machine here, and we got this accelerator thing. Which, let's go ahead and look at the accelerator first.
A foam accelerator, eh? It looks like a giant drink mixer to me.
Thorn. A thorn is the basis and traditional unit of magical strength. It has been universally established as the amount of magic needed to create one small white pigeon or three normal-sized billiard balls. In this very room, the thorn has been successfully demonstrated to be made up of ressons, which literally translates to thingies, or reality fragments. Current research indicates that each reson is itself made up of a combination of at least 5 flavors, known as up, down, sideways, sex appeal, and peppermint.
Yeah, I'm going to adjust the sound balance real quick. Because I think the noise of the accelerator is drowning out the dialogue slightly. And if that voice just now describing the thumb seemed familiar, that's the same narrator's voice that served as Two Flower in the original Discworld game. Only we won't get to see Two Flower in this one, it'll just be the same voice, occasionally describing different things from the Discworld books that are not easily explained through regular dialogue, just like the footnotes. So, let's start grabbing everything we can, like this magnet. And of course the luggage is back, and we have a nice little Ash Kent basic thing here that describes everything we need. And let's use the test tube. We'll go ahead and book the machine first.
Hey, what are those little black things roaming around inside?
Well, Skaz will of course be happy to tell us what it is, but I'll give you the quick explanation now. This is Hex. It is the first computer on the Discworld, and it is powered by various random bits of machinery that have been plugged onto it. Of course, it doesn't work unless you have bugs in it. Anyway, there's a lot of computer jokes in the Discworld books involving the students and wizards who work in the high-energy magic building that are based on physics and, you know, quantum mechanics, and if you're the sort of geek who enjoys that sort of thing, it's rather hilarious, and even if you're not, they do walk you through it. But let's go ahead and talk to Skaz real quick. Actually, let's look at him first.
Skaz. Essentially the sort of man who carefully files away family photographs as his sole means of recreation.
That's like a Mad Drongo.
Students these days, I ask you. Ponder Stibbons. Profession, research wizard. Personality, maniac. Avoid at all costs.
Alright. Let's go with introduction.
Ah, hello there.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yes, Absolutely. And you are?
Skaz. That's a name I have. Yeah, right.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's this conversation off to a good start then. What are you doing here?
Doing?
Just answer the question.
I'm, trying to get it together, I mean, what are, any of us really, actually doing from a cosmic point of view?
Yes.
What?
What are you doing in this room?
Oh, right, yeah. Well, working, on this new, magical engine for working things out. It works things out, By working them out, it crunches numbers into little bits.
Amazing! What's it called?
We, call it Hex.
Why?
Well, 'cause in the working things out engine business, everything has got to have a 3-letter name.
Is that because you can't understand longer words?
What?
Somehow when I look at you, I feel that a 3-letter name just isn't enough.
What? I don't understand.
Really? That's astonishing. It really is.
Yeah, conversations with Skaz tend to take a while because he has that, hey, whatever voice. Thankfully, we don't have to talk to him too much.
Much as I'm convinced that there must be a reason behind all this rot, perhaps it's safer just to never know. Maybe I'll just rob the place of every little object that might be of use and just leave it at that. Pick up bird, open door, throw axe at dwarf. It was so much simpler in the old days.
Yeah, Rincewind will several times say that he wished he was a game character back in the days of the old text adventures. You didn't have to deal with all of this talking with idiots then.
So this is where all the grant money goes these days.
Hey, there's no point getting all, uncool and heavy. Anyway, I don't deal with the money. It's all Kevin's doing. He knows how to talk to the University Council.
Kevin? Who's Kevin?
One of my research assistants. He's a, invertebrate politician.
You mean inveterate politician? I think there's a misprint in the script.
No, invertebrate. He's an ant. Currently, he lives in that test tube over there. Now go, away, because I can't stand around here all day. It's too difficult.
And yet, that's all he's gonna do.
What are all these leggy little objects you have running around the place?
Oh, those? Oh, they're ants.
Ants?
Yeah, ants. They got legs and sticking out bits on their heads. You get them in sandwiches at picnics, ants. That's what they're like, that's what they're called.
I am perfectly aware of the existence of ants. What I want to know is why you have them running freely about the innards of a complex mathematical machine.
Ah, there, in fact, is the essence of my, very cunning plan. You see, when we were designing Hex, we worked out that what with it all being so new and everything, we were bound to end with, a lot of bugs in the system, and that'd mean people would be complaining the whole, time. Every time it wouldn't work properly, they'd call us and tell us there was, a bug in the machine, kind of thing.
So why have you put an anthill inside?
Alright, well, the cunning bit is, we thought what we'd do is put all the bugs in right at the start, so there'd be no room for them later on. Smart, eh?
Amazing, and somehow so prophetic.
Right. But we don't call them bugs anymore. We call them creatures. Then, if a problem occurs, we can say, no, it's not a bug. It's just an undocumented creature, and the whole system relies on them now. They race about inside there, opening up little gates, closing them, opening them again, running about in little wheels, you know, dragging bits of information from one storage bin into another. It's working really, well.
I'm not so sure about that. How do the ants feel about it?
They seem to like it. We found the machine works if you put living things in, see. We put in a mouse the other day, and it worked really fast when we put some RAM in, until they butted their way out.
Do you ever, how shall I put this, lose any ants?
It's funny you mentioned that. It was only like yesterday when I lost 100 of my best. It was awful. The machine was like totally debugged for a while.
Yeah, there were a ton of computer jokes in that one bit of conversation. My favorite one being the anthill inside, as in Intel inside, with the chips that were all the rage back when this game came out. Anyway.
Well, that's it for now.
And now we know this thing is Hex.
An automatic computating machine. Personally, I can't see any future in it. Hey, what are those little black things roaming around inside?
They're ants, Rince, when he already told you that. However...
That's not going to help you.
Hey man, you've broken it now. All the ants have run away. You've debugged it.
And there's another bad joke. And of course, we'll actually need Hex later, which means we'll have to go find ants to fix it. But that is later. Now let's talk to Mad Drongo, who, this is the character who has the voice of Neil from The Young Ones.
One wonders if the public knows that their valuable taxes are being spent on the creation of a giant merry-go-round. Still, there might be some sort of use come out of it. You could charge kids 10 groats a go and watch them spew candy floss all over the walls. At least it would give the ants something for lunch. Ugh. Thank goodness this robe is washable. You, on the other hand, appear not to be. Why don't you have another ride?
And yeah, that lets you know the level of slapstick that we've got in this game.
Oh, wow! I see a totally new world. It's a view into possibilities that might or might not be. Cosmic uncertainty, man. Kind of like you've got an animal inside this box, only it's a cat.
The box is a cat?
Yeah, but sometimes it's dead. Oh man, you just have to climb in this thing for yourself and go for a ride.
Oh, lovely. So you're a research fellow, are you? Free housing, a wage and medical benefits, and this is what we get for all our outlay?
It's not such a good job. I'd leave it if it weren't for the perks.
What have you been doing?
It's like a manifestation of cosmic energy.
Looks like a giant centrifuge to me.
Yeah, but it's spiritually purifying. It removes the extraneous elements of the soul.
Really? So what did you lose?
I lost, all the unneeded creamed corn and diced carrots that had burdened my psyche for so long. It's incredible, right? I mean, I never even knew I had them in there.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
See you later.
Nothing useful at all there.
I don't see this as being a new age in magical energy. Still, might be a few arts grants in it. I could try gargling lager and curry, then take a ride with a piece of canvas. So, what have we here then?
Thorms! Billions and billions and billions of thorms!
Pardon me while I just edge closer to an appropriate escape route, will you? Please don't let me disturb your meditation on world domination. Oh, lovely. A giant drink mixing machine.
Drink mixer? You call the greatest magical breakthrough of the age a drink mixer?
Yes.
Well, alright. Maybe it is a giant centrifuge now. But one day, Pacow! We have the power! We're unencumbered by outmoded ideas, and it's quite untrue that Thormic research damages the brain! We are the young generation, and we have something to say! We'll split the Thorm and usher in an age of cheap, clean power, a new, clear future!
We've been getting nowhere fast, haven't we?
There's no truth at all that splitting Thorms causes the brain to melt! No truth at all! Every day, and in every way, I'm getting better and better and better! They laughed at me and said I was mad, you know. Have a nice day! Have a nice day! Have a real nice night! No, day! Ha 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 ha!
You're a loony.
Loony? Loony, eh? Well, we'll see about that. They called Mad Dog McAxeman a loony.
Well, that could be because he used to dress up like a crayfish and go running up and down the high street.
That wasn't him. It was another one.
No, it wasn't. He was the idiot who accidentally ate his own feet, for heaven's sake.
Yes. Well, people always scoff at what they don't understand.
Well, I understood he scoffed his own feet.
Yeah, it seems like, if I didn't know better, I'd swear that they wrote this part for Rick Mayall and he was unavailable. Because they wanted to get a Rick from Young Ones type character in here as well. Actually, he looks a little bit Mayall-ish. Definitely doesn't look like Ponder from the original books, and sure as heck doesn't act like him.
So, what is a thome, actually?
A Thorm? You want to know exactly what a Thorm might be?
Good heavens, no! That's why I asked.
Oh yes, I can tell you all about Thorms.
Well?
Aren't you going to say please?
All right. Please tell me what a thome is.
A Thorm is a magical particle, the quintessence of magic itself. Inside this Thorm accelerator, I can take magic and whir it up to a massively increased speed. Imagine high-powered magic, spells 1,000 times more efficient than before. With this power in my hand, I
Give your creature life? Be the envy of your friends? Get girls through hypnotism? Make in your spare time?
Oh yes, all that and more. Zoing! Come in, Starbase 9.
Look, you're a busy man, or at least humanoid.
Would you like to see a brief documentary clicky display about my work?
No, thank you.
We have a guidebook, complete with an interview of me and a series of diagrams charting my incredible progress in finding out what makes the universe tick.
No, that's all right. I know what makes me tick. I'm ticked when I accidentally put sugar on my sausages.
Yeah, it was such a long way to go for such a lame joke from Rincewind.
Goodbye!
Thankfully, we don't need to talk to most of these guys ever again, or at all. So let's check out the garden. Now, one of the more unfortunate things about this game, at least compared to the other, the first Discworld game, is that sometimes it isn't immediately obvious where you can and can't walk. So you have to do a lot of walking around on the screen, because the first time I played this game, I had no idea that we had this area with the bees over here. So let's go ahead and talk to the beekeeper.
The university beekeeper. Look, let's not hang around too close. He might try to talk to us.
Oh, but we want to talk to him, Rincewind.
Keep off of them bees there, sir.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I said, do please keep away from the bees. They're very dangerous. You need the right equipment, see? A veil, smoke, that kind of thing.
Oh, come on, they're not that dangerous, are they?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Last fellow here who tried to mess with that hive ended up stung, bewitched, and turned into the helpless love slave of the bee queen.
Really?
As the gods judge me, sir. He was off there collecting pollen day and night just for the privilege of seeing her mandibles crease up in a smile, sir. Awful. Awful the degradation he got put through, sir.
Oh, God, it must have been horrible.
Yes, sir. The pollen made me sneeze something awful.
I think at this point I should buzz off.
Yeah.
Bees, the eternal mystery. How do they fly? How do they communicate? And why are all the workers dumb enough to go off and toil in the fields all day, leaving the queen lounging about, guzzling nectar and having a good time? Look, can I have some wax out of the beehive, or do I have to get tough?
Tough? What? Go in there and fight the queen herself?
No, I mean get tough with you. You know, threaten, offer violence, intimidate you through use of magic powers, that sort of thing.
There's no call for that sort of thing, sir. If you're going to take that attitude, I'm afraid I'm going to have to force you to go on a bizarre quest to find objects which will catch my interest and curry my favour.
Oh, that would be a novelty.
You've no one but yourself to blame, sir. Off you go. The days are wasting.
Yeah, of course, we are going to need to get some wax and some honey out of the beehive. But here's a little example of how weird the game tries to stop you from breaking it by skipping ahead, and yet we still get that whole thing about Rincewind needing wax, even though we don't really know how to go about getting wax, or that we need wax rather than being able to just go, buy a candle for the rite. Anyway.
So you really like bees a lot then?
Oh, yeah, they're wonderful little things, sir. Such rich and varied lives. Zooming into the hive and zooming out again, and poetry. Pure poetry in motion. No one pays them enough attention, sir, that's what I think. If only someone would give the little darlings the recognition they deserve.
Quite.
I mean, it's all ants these days, sir. Ants this and ants that, and ants can carry 100 times their own body weight. And
Yes, now, look.
I mean, it's nothing a bee can't cap, sir. Look at your basic regurgitation process, or the fascinating little dances bees perform. Point. I see a flower filled with nectar. Point. Watch out for the spider's web over in that tree. Point. The clover's coming into bloom. Where's he gone then? I was just getting into the really interesting bits.
So yeah, that in itself is a hint as to how we need to deal with him, because he does not feel that bees are appreciated.
The bursar, a man apparently unravaged by any sense of guilt. Otherwise he'd stop mucking about and give me a little bit of help for a change. The Dean. Possibly the next best thing to administrative staff a university could have without actually hiring anyone who can do sums. Funny, the librarian never really struck me as a croquet kind of chap. A maze? Oh, please, let's not add this to our list of woes. Let's just stay out here where everything's nice and calm.
Yes, thankfully we don't need to do anything with the maze, but...
A rooster. It's one of the few organic life forms on campus that is almost definitely not an ex-faculty member.
Of course, we cannot catch the rooster, because that would be too easy. And we don't know why we need to catch the rooster, but since it's here, we know we have to eventually.
So this is the university compost heap. Everyone always goes on about recycling as though it's such a thrill. It's a load of rot. I mean, think about it. You're encouraging the breeding of a vast mound of bacteria in your own home. Surely the one in your sock drawer is good enough for you.
So yeah, we've got that.
A birdhouse in the university? I thought the Arch-Chancellor had ordered all the local wildlife to be shot. Oh no, that was the students. Well, that's all right then. Just so long as he wasn't being cruel to animals.
Yeah, Arch-Chancellor Riccoli in the Discworld books is a bit of a hunter. So him ordering all the local wildlife shot, on principle, pretty par for the course.
An imp. Small, offensive, and more than just a little bit suspect, I think. But I must admit, his little metal boots are rather neat. Not to mention smelly.
And here comes one of the bits where we can do something, even though it makes no sense as to why we need to do it. Yet. But we will go ahead and talk to him first.
An imp with curious steel-soled boots. That looks curious. Look, I hope you're writing this down. I mean, what do you want me to do? Shout, hint?
You might as well.
Stop it!
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were someone else.
Who?
Who? What?
Who did you think I was?
Oh, nobody in particular. Don't worry about it.
One hesitates to ask any further, really.
Oi, oi, oi. Oit! Oit! Urgle, nurgle. Oit!
So that's it, is it? That's your entire repertoire, just sitting around and saying, oit!
Is that all? Is that all? No, why? Oh, you say I'm just a smelly little imp, and so I say hooray-oh. You say that I'm a silly little gimp, and I say go away-oh. 'Cause I'm smelly over here, I'm smelly over there. I'm smelly, smelly, smelly everywhere. I fill the bathtub plug with hair, and then I sing all day-oh. Oh, you say I'm just a silly jelly blimp, and I say it's okay-oh. You say a piece of string is limp, and I say the word potato. Limp, limp, limp here, limp, limp, limp there, and potato peelings everywhere. How long's it take to skin a bear? And I say, all day, oh, oit!
Quite. Look, who are you?
Oi, oi, Stench the imp.
Stench the imp?
No, Stench, not Stench. I wouldn't make any friends if I was called Stench, now would I? I mean, I do have a stench. All part of the job, you understand. But Stench is not, in fact, my actual name.
I see. And so you, in fact, might have the worst stench in the kingdom.
Ah, second worst, I'm afraid. The worst belongs to foul old Ron. Well, that's probably what did it, actually. Drove me mad and all. The disappointment, the yearning, looking towards a goal one could never really achieve. That sort of thing.
Mad?
Oh, yes. Lip-strumming, hooting, mad, I'm afraid. Oi, oi, ew. Who's a pretty cuttlefish? Oh.
Why do people lapse into insanity when they talk to me?
You've got a sympathetic face, mister. Oh.
These boots are yours, then?
Hmm?
They're the home of your stench.
Aha! They are the perfect home for any stench. They are, in fact, the ideal dream home for really strong smells. I aim to go and attract some really astounding stinks to myself later on, right after a good, hard, manic fit. Hang on, hang on, hang on! Here it comes now. Oit! Oit! Nope. Didn't happen. Sorry.
All right.
Excuse me, I think it's probably time for me to take my medicine.
Now, of course, we can't reach up there to grab the boots off of this imp. Thankfully, hobnail boots meet magnet.
Boots taken from an imp. Look, observe, but pray do not smell. A graduated measuring device. Oh, you handsome little sea weevil, you.
Well, I was trying to click on you to get your inventory because you'll see, as always, we have our money pouch.
My money pouch, overflowing with a vast wealth of gold coins. Well, when I say overflowing, more of a slow trickle, really. And vast wealth is a purely subjective phrase. And when I say gold, more gold-ish than gold, I guess. Oh, all right. I have a few copper coins. Are you satisfied now?
Just about.
It's me! It was me 5 minutes ago. And it'll still be me the next time you look, too.
Yeah, you get quite a few responses here.
It's me! It was me 5 minutes ago. And it'll still be me the next time you look, too. My dear faithful old luggage. Quiet as a log. And just about as smart. Rincewind, Homo sapiens sorcerus, irritabilis. In reality, I'm a full foot taller, bronzed and rippling with muscles, but it's been a hard night for the artist. My dear faithful old luggage, quiet as a log and just about as smart. It's me! It was me and it'll still be me the next... Don't you find something strangely soothing about an ambulatory box which can consume 50 times its own mass in food, clothing and furniture? You don't? Oh. What, shall I get inside it? No way! Nobody's ever interfered with the luggage and lived to tell about it. What, shall I get inside it? No. My dear what?
Alright.
Well, that threw a monkey wrench into the works. No, it's just a turn of phrase. I swear it just slipped out. I in no way intended to pass any sort of derogatory remark about your chosen form. Not here, nor ever. I personally find that having an arboreal primate as a companion has been an enriching, nay invigorating experience. Well, that settled him down. I do wish he'd just let it rest. I don't see it matters if people accidentally say monkey.
Yeah, no getting smacked in the head this time.
So, at least you chaps are having a good day of it. Balmy afternoon, breezes blowing, sun shining. I suppose that makes it monkey shine then. Well, he's the one who said it first. So, seen any good sticks around here at all? Oh well, I'll just go off and keep looking then.
Yeah, clearly we need to get the 3 croquet mallets that the senior wizards are using to play, which means we need to switch them out with substitutes of some type.
You know, the sooner I get Death up and on his feet again, the sooner I might open up some more avenues for promotion around here. Goodbye!
And it's not... Okay, there we go.
Hello! Shh! Sorry. Really sorry.
Oh!
So you'll all just have a nice game here then while I'll go off and work, eh? Right, don't mind me, I'll just be over here saving the entire universe then. Tricky shot. Very nice sticks on those croquet mallets.
Go away! We're trying to play a relaxing game.
Fine, fine, don't let me disturb you. I'll just be over here saving us all from certain doom.
Yeah, in case you didn't get that subtle hint earlier.
Bye! Hello there. Fine day for it.
Yeah, for it? You see? My spleen still remembers.
Remembers what?
Well, it remembers. I don't.
Nice game.
What? Bloody varnish industry. That's what's behind it.
What?
It's them. They drain all the sap out of them, you see. Tree vampires, that's what I call them.
Look,
Makes the wood too light. No stiffness to it. See these croquet mallets? Not heavy enough to make a decent clout. Find me another mallet, boy, and I'll show you how we did it in the old days.
Ah, the simple charms of a quiet life. I could just stand here and watch it all day. The pure green grass, the gentle sun, the tedious old fools hitting balls with long sticky things. Yeah, you're right, really. Let's get out of here before we find ourselves joining in.
Yeah, so quite a number of subtle hints there about needing to
Goodbye!
find objects you can switch with the mallets. And that's it for the garden for the moment. And that has indeed cleared out all of Unseen University. Seems so much bigger in the first game, but now, to Ankh-Morpork. And we got a few different locations here. Let's start off with...
A sort of rest home for the dead.
Got some descriptions here.
Ah, the Shades. I know it well. An area where curiosity not only kills the cat, but also weighs it down with bricks and tosses it into the river. Ah, the Shades. I know it well. An area where curiosity not only kills the cat, but also weighs it down with bricks and tosses it into the river. The focal part of town, where the new Clicky Theatre is.
Yeah, Clickies, of course, being the Discworld equivalent of motion pictures. Movies, films.
Funny, I'd swear this shop wasn't here before.
Nice little Doctor Who reference there. And yes, that shop does keep moving around.
Used to be one of the more jolly guilds. Now look at it, just a pile of rubble. Where water meets land, although in this case it's hard to tell which is which.
Yeah, the Ankh River going through the city of Ankh-Morpork is more solid than liquid. Oh, let's go ahead and start with the cemetery since it's closest.
The home of the mightiest wizards on the Discworld. And of course me. A suffragesta. Ah, now that's what I like about modern times. A woman is free to take her place, stride boldly forth, and get totally ignored just like all the rest of us.
Yeah, suffragester is actually not taken from the Discworld books. This is their own unique gag for this game.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome.
Overcome what?
What was that, fascist?
I'm asking just what it is that you want to overcome. Who tied you up like this?
I've tied myself here, yeah, me, pig. Now try and repress me out of that.
You tied yourself up?
It's an act demonstrating freedom, see? Well, it demonstrates my freedom to tie myself to anything I want to, whenever I want to. That's one of your basic human rights, right? And I'll fight to keep a hold of it.
You mean you want to fight for the right to lose your freedom?
Right on! Don't you want to know what I'm protesting about?
I was half hoping to avoid it, but do go on.
I'm protesting for the right to have female members of the Fools and Jesters Guild, and I will not be moved.
Why are you protesting about it over here in the cemetery? Why don't you go and do it outside the Jesters Guild?
They never have anything worth tying yourself to over at that end of town. I like this, though. Quite a nice little steak, if you don't mind my saying so. Not an absolute prime choice, mind, but getting there.
Then by all means be my guest. Excuse me, I think it's probably time for me to take my medicine.
And we'll grab that.
We shall overcome.
What's this one say? Only sleeping? He's fooling no one but himself.
Yeah, quite a few jokes about that with the various dead people. Nod to Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You're not fooling anyone, you know. You're stone dead.
What's this one? If unattended, please ring bell.
There's Wendell.
Ah! Ha ha! Another one! Go find your own grave, you rotten fool!
Windle?
Windle? Gad! That's my private name. Ah, you still remember, lad? Oh, great days they were. Great days. Life? You don't know what life is until you're dead. It was great, all that breathing and walking around in the fresh air. Oh, I tell you, if I had my time all over again, I wouldn't reincarnate.
So, how are you adjusting then?
Oh, I'll never get used to this grave, I'll tell you. The walls are so thin. All you can do here is lie around and listen to what the neighbours say.
So, what's it like? Being dead, I mean.
Oh, I've had enough of it. The hours are too long for a start. Here, keep the wretched dead and alive hole.
Wait, what am I supposed to do with a grave?
Use it as a small swimming pool, huh?
I can't swim.
I never said you had to fill it with water, did I? Yoicks and away!
Right, well it looks like I have a real mission then. I either restore death to his rightful place, Or else we'll be up to our armpits in gaunt, dark-eyed young Gothic girls dressed in black, all pretending that they can quote romantic poetry. Actually, that doesn't sound bad at all. Nah. Onward!
And, well, we can't really do much in here at the moment except for look at stuff.
Oh, another coffin. You know, I think I'm really getting the hang of this object identification thing. A slab, aha, mounted beneath the coffin. A sort of primitive anti-gravity system.
And, well, that's it for the moment, but we'll come back here later. So, I think we'll go ahead and do the shades next.
Oh, hello. And what in the world are you? Yes, yes. Well, I didn't understand a word of that at all. Sorry.
Yeah, that was, of course, the Death of Rats, which is funny because the Death of Rats does first appear as a character in Reaper Man the book, but he comes about toward the end of it when, for reasons too complicated to go into, the forces of death are struck into individual beings that are devoted toward different creatures and objects. So you've got a death of irony, a death of rats, a death of cats, a death of dogs, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the book, Death decides to keep the death of rats around so he's not quite so lonely in his duties. And here we go, Troll's Head Pub.
Well, the one saving grace is that the loss of the poor fellow's cranium probably didn't interfere with his thinking.
Yeah, in the Discworld books, the Troll's Head did have a real troll's head on a spike out in front of it to denote its name. It later got replaced with a fake one because of political correctness, and, you know, the local trolls getting upset about having somebody's head on a stick. And yes, we have a dead collector.
Oh, lovely. A cartload of corpses. Still, I suppose it's nice to get out for a bit of a ride in the fresh air.
Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. You're not fooling anyone, you know. Yes, we'll have that joke here as well.
Bring out your living dead. Bring out your living dead. Dead collected, corpses transported. Guaranteed disposal to far-off climes. The dear departed stay departed. They like it so much they never come back. Highly recommended service. Well, obviously the transportees themselves won't recommend us, but complaints are never ever received either. Bring out your living dead.
Posthumous travel services. I wonder if he gets many return customers.
Dead, sir?
Dead? Of course I'm not dead. Do I look dead?
No, hard to tell sometimes these days, sir. It's just that if you're dead, then you're stuck in trade. Our post-mortem travel service offers dozens of very exciting internment locations.
Look, I am not dead.
Look, you seem a little bit peaky. Why don't you just hop on the old cart for a minute, and if you pop off, then it saves us all a lot of trouble.
If it's all the same to you, I think I'll avoid resting my backside on a pile of carrion.
Suit yourself, sir. I'm sure they don't mind.
Foreign climes? For a corpse?
Well, corpses have needs too, sir. It's not all just fun and games being dead. There's a sudden stiffness in the joints, continual growth of hair and fingernails, not to mention noisy poltergeists and neighbours who dislike being gnawed.
Ignored?
No, gnawed. You know, maggots and such like. Pshaw! Should hear the way some of them go on about it. I mean, it's not like there's anything I can do about it. Still, I thought the offer of a few exotic locations for internment might soften the blow, as it were, sir.
So, how is business these days?
Tailing off, to tell you the truth, sir. Most of the dead hereabouts nowadays provide their own transport.
What? They just start walking around all by themselves?
Yeah, bloody cheek. One minute you've got a livelihood, and the next minute everyone decides to be a zombie, all posh-like, and starts walking about and frightening school children. I've had to ruin myself, making my service more attractive.
Attractive? How?
Well, used to be we'd just take the stiffs and chuck 'em into the plague pit outside of the town. No, beautiful ceremony it was. Very touching, watching 'em slide down and go thump at the bottom of the hole. Real poignant, like. Now, though, you have to make it seem more attractive than wandering the streets as one of the walking dead. So now we offer transport to foreign climes. You know, sun, beaches, relaxation, that sort of thing. Hopefully it's just what your freshly snuffed corpse desires. A good holiday to get some of the kinks out.
Posthumous travel suit. I
We
wonder
did
if
that
he...
one already.
Excuse me, I think it's probably time for me to take my medicine. So this is the dead collector, huh? When I was a lad, I just used to collect butterflies. I suppose it's just a matter of scaling up. That leads to the mortuary.
So yes, we do have the
Can
morgue
you
here.
imagine what horrors that could be kept in here? Fortunately, it's locked.
Yeah, there's not much we can do here at the moment.
Slops. I don't think we ought to examine this one too closely. A poster. Ah. Neo-Fauvist post-cubist surrealism, I see. Oh, wait a minute, I think it's upside down.
We are, of course, mostly concerned with the sharp, pointy object.
I guess this is the bucket they all kick before they go. Granny Weatherwax. A tough lady, this one. Best to let her get the beauty sleep she so obviously needs.
Yes, Granny Weatherwax is another one of the major characters of the Discworld books, and she's rather famous for being the most prominent of the leaders that the witches do not have. See, witches are all very egalitarian. They insist that they are all equals and that they do not have anybody who is best among them. Except for Granny Weatherwax, who has a rather unique talent, even among witches, for borrowing, where she put her mind inside of animals and ride them around. And when she does this, she has a sign that says, "I ain't dead," that she keeps on herself to remind people that she is in fact not dead.
And she can't answer that, doesn't really seem any point.
So yeah, nothing we can do with her at the moment yet. And we can actually walk past this way a bit. There's 3 entry points to the Shades, which is fortunate because this is another point where I completely got lost and found out, oh hey, there's something here.
Looks like the door to some secret society. Or my name isn't Brother Rincewind. Hello there!
Ha! A likely story. That's just the sort of attitude I've come to expect from you living fascists.
What? I never said a word.
Words, yeah, right. That's where it starts. Dead common. Dead boring. You've used them. Don't say you haven't.
I'm not prejudiced. I'm dead set against it.
See? There you go. If there's ever going to be any justice for us undead, then we have to start at the grassroots.
Oh, a bit lower than that, surely.
Don't you try to dictate our level of activity. Lively, dead right. That's what we want. So if you're not dead, then drop dead. This club's for the children of the night, so if you want to live it up, right, you go elsewhere.
Yeah, we'll meet that character later on, but if you're a Discworld fan, you probably recognize him. That's Red Shoe, who is a rather prominent zombie in the Discworld books and a dead rights activist. He got introduced, actually I think he may have shown up before, but he had his first major appearance in Reaper Man as the leader of a group that was trying to ensure rights for the differently living
Bring out your living dead.
in Ankh-Morpork, and we'll get a chance to talk to him later. But it's a rather odd little Monty Python tribute again that, you know, Reg's general behavior is a bit like Reg from the Judean People's Front, or the People's Front of Judea from Monty Python's Life of Brian. And his behavior is also very much like the, you know, help, help, I'm being repressed peasant named Dennis in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But
Yeah, that leads to Mrs. Cakes.
yes, Mrs. Cake. Quick little note about her. Mrs. Cake is another character who also showed up in Reaper Man. She is a clairvoyant psychic who is very accurate. Unfortunately, she tends to be a little absent-minded about turning her second sight on and off, so she'll frequently skip ahead in conversations. And she also works as a dressmaker in the Shades, so let's check her place out.
A genie bottle, eh? Obviously a good home for beings of the non-substantial persuasion. Sort of a sense of foreboding here. Mrs. Cake, you'd think a hat that size would sap her strength, wouldn't you?
And really not a lot worth clicking on in here at the moment.
One crystal ball, complete with test pattern.
Yeah, getting a bit of static in there.
Is it? Oh, I haven't been outside.
Hello there. Nice day, eh?
What? How dare you?
Okay, now there is a bit of a puzzle to the dialogue here. We have to get things in the right order so that she doesn't get confused. So she gave us an answer before, so let's ask a question.
Well, now you're just talking rubbish. Order your thoughts, young man.
Okay, that was clearly the wrong thing. So,
Is it? Oh, I haven't been outside.
Hello there. Nice day, eh?
What? How dare you?
okay. Clearly, we start with a greeting.
Well, now you're just talking rubbish. Order your thoughts, young man.
Okay, actually we have to start with our thoughts.
Is it? Oh, I haven't been outside.
Hello there. Nice day, eh?
What? How dare you? Well, now you're just talking rubbish.
I was
Order
thinking
your
rubbish.
thoughts, young man.
Okay. Clearly I need to start with sarcasm then.
Is it? Oh, I haven't been outside.
Hello there. Nice day, eh?
What? How dare you?
Okay, yeah, clearly I become sarcastic.
Look, I believe you're fouling up this whole conversation.
What do you mean? How do I do it?
Okay, question.
I just don't believe the hash you're making of a simple conversation. How are you managing to do it?
Ooh, yes, that's what I am. Why, does it show?
She's talking like she already knows what I'm going to say. Is she a clairvoyant?
Well, it's nice to start all over again. I'm sorry about all that. Sometimes I forget I've left it on, you see.
Alright, let's start with a greeting.
Hello there. Nice day. Oh, damn it, we're back here again.
Eh? Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my precognition off. There we are. That should be much easier.
Alright.
Phew, thank heavens that's all over.
I'm so very sorry about that, young man. I'll forget my own head next. Now, how may I help you?
Well,
Might I borrow that genie bottle you have up on the shelf up there?
I'll tell you what, you can have the bottle, but only if you get me some nice fresh ectoplasm.
Ugh, ectoplasm? What? That stuff that drips down walls? Sort of ghostly goo?
That's the stuff. Nice and slippery.
Won't the wallpaper get all sticky?
That's what the punters want these days, dear. They don't think you're a proper psychic unless there's ectoplasm sloshing all over the place.
alright, well,
Where does ectoplasm come from anyway?
Ooh, you can wring it out of spirits if you can catch 'em. Squish it out of 'em like wringing laundry.
ew.
Is there much of a commercial call for ectoplasm? Gives you pause for thought. A psychic, eh? Well, who'd have thought it?
You did, dear, about 3 minutes from now.
Do you really get away with all this? Just pretending to read other people's thoughts for a living?
Well, it's not as if I'm making money at it. Ask most people to cross your palm with silver and they look at you like you're some sort of beggar. The only fringe benefit these days is the ectoplasm.
Ectoplasm? What do you use that for?
Never you mind.
Ew.
I am too.
You're not really a psychic.
I will.
Prove it.
All right, ask them.
I know. Answer my questions.
Blue.
Describe my favourite colour.
A rash.
Describe what I got for my birthday.
Fat, toothless and covered with sauce.
Describe my breakfast.
Frilly underwear.
Nope. I just can't remember what I meant to ask just then.
I do, and you ought to wash your mind with soap and water. Now, why don't you just go off about your business, or I'll tell all the nice audience about what you keep in your sock drawer.
Yeah, let's.
See you later.
But there's more than just this. We'll need that. And the scissors. And this is just creepy. And shockingly well animated. So we now have
A petticoat. Such thin and delicate material, I can see clear through it. A pair of scissors. Actually, I'm not usually allowed to use the ones with pointy ends. An ironing board might have a dozen fascinating uses, and as soon as I figure one out, I'll get right back to you. A sharp cutting blade. A pick. A pick. Boots taken from an imp. Look, observe, but pray do not...
Alright. And here we have three of the most famous beggars in the Discworld books. We got Foul Old Ron, owner of the most awful stench in the world. Henry Coffin, or Coffin Henry.
Do you suppose any of the stuff has a use, or is it just background colour?
And the Duckman, who is named, well, for obvious reasons. Except he doesn't know there's a duck there. Okay, we'll grab the pot.
A coffee pot. Well, I say coffee, if you could call it that. Whatever it is, if you drink it, you'll at least be dead, if not dead sober.
And we'll take some of that as well.
I'd have to be drunk before I put it in there.
You have to be drunk before you take it. That's a blatant clue, isn't it? And another example of how the game won't let you do certain things at certain times unless you've already done something else. And yet other times it will. So we'll grab that saw as well.
Oh no, not that old saw.
Eh.
A handmade clay pot, currently empty.
Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to them.
Spare a gold piece, sir. Spare a gold piece.
A whole gold piece? Most people don't earn that in a month.
Well, the streets are swarming with beggars, sir. So I just thought I'd establish myself in a different niche market. You know, beggar to the upper gentry.
Oh, really?
So, as I say, sir, any gold pieces to spare? Perhaps raw bullion? Shares, futures, that sort of thing?
Oh, stop it. And go and do something about that duck.
What duck?
You wouldn't say there's anything in the slightest bit unusual in your appearance at all?
No, why?
Nothing that, say, when viewed in a mirror, might give you pause for thought?
What's a mirror, sir?
Ah, we may in fact have reached the root of the problem. However, it's a silly problem, and so I'm suddenly going to stop talking to you. What's in the pot?
Coffee Olay.
Olay?
No, Olay. We stole it from a bullfighter. Got to stay sharp, sir, otherwise the bull might get in an illegal punch.
Ooh, fresh coffee. Can I try some?
No.
Nah, don't think I really want to handle this one. Correspondence would be welcomed. Excuse me, I think it's probably time for me to take my medicine.
Yeah, spare a groat for a...
Spare her. Here. Damn. Forgotten what I was asking now.
I'd probably have more to say, but I'm afraid I keep being distracted by this bloody dreadful smell.
As if we never hint that we might need this smell for our stench.
Oh, please, just go away.
Here. Give me some money, mate. Just get... Sorry, sir. I didn't... I didn't realise you were so close. He'll probably wash off.
Now look.
Spare a gold piece, sir. Spare a gold piece. Oh, God.
Never mind. Do you serve any useful purpose at all?
Yes, mate. I'm a social figure, I am. I get non-invited to all the best functions in the city. I do.
What do you mean, non-invited?
Oh, you know, they sends me the address and they pays me money not to turn up. I can't understand why myself. Oh, I'm sorry about that, go. No, don't rub it off. It only works it deeper into the cloth.
Alright.
Excuse me, I think it's probably time for me to take my medicine. Henry Coffin, famous beggar and the man of 1,000 nasty coughs and spits. He can hit a spittoon at 20 paces, and I wish he'd try to. The Duck Man, I presume. I just don't know how anybody can live with a duck on their head and not know it. A vile smell? An ambulatory vile smell? Yes, well, that's brought some life into my day. So this is the infamous foul old Ron. You know, there are some personalities so stunningly horrid, so utterly breathtakingly awful, that they actually transcend the mere physical frame of their owners and stand out as an icon, a banner of meaning with a life all of their own. Then again, there's also hundreds of grubby old street people like this bloke who just make me want to scratch.
Oh, buggery. Oh, bugger 'em. Millennium hand and shrimp. The buns, all over. You young spiders. I told 'em, put that in your trumpet. Millennium hand and shrimp. Blow that for a game of trousers. Was there something you wanted?
And yes, this dialogue is fairly typical of the utter insanity that foul old Ron spouts in the books.
I see the local care in the community scheme is hard at work.
Millennium hand and shrimp.
Of course, a really caring community would probably have moved him further downwind. What's that cloud hanging over you?
Stench. That's my special smell, that is. Yeah, it's a first-class smell. It's got a life of its own, you know. Quite a little personality.
You're saying that your smell is so powerful it actually can be seen?
Yeah, it likes the boots, you know. Nothing it likes better than to settle down with a good old boot. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to continue with my job as resident crazy man in this marvellous street theatre that is Ankh-Morpork.
Yeah, this version of Ron is far more cognitive, but foul more as well.
Prime boots with stench attached. They smell like shoes, you know. Gotta have lots of boots to maintain a real fine stink, you know. Get off. There's plenty for everyone.
It's beans, roasted beans in water. They say there's nothing like a nice cup of coffee to clear the mind. Mind you, I prefer mud. A good hot cup of mud sets you up for the day. A good meal of old boots and mud, and a man can laugh at the world. And I do. Spiders, mumble, sticking like sticky paper, and lying, millennium hand and shrimp, lying.
You know, some might say that this chap lacks a firm grasp upon reality.
Yeah, bugger 'em. Bugger 'em all.
My personal theory is that he has a very firm grasp upon reality. It's simply not a reality the rest of us have ever met before.
Which would make a lot of sense, and be totally plausible on the Discworld.
Let's just stop all this now.
So, yeah, we don't actually need to talk to any of the beggars, but they're there for, well, a sort of comedy value.
That leads to Gimlet's.
And what is Gimlet's, you ask? Well, it's never location from the books. It is a whole food restaurant. Not a soul food, whole food. As in catering to dwarves, but also now catering to trolls in the name of making a fast buck. And we can't talk to the other customers here.
Chili powder. Compliments to the high energy magic facility. Just been in the same scene as it, makes me sweat. Chili powder. I taste test this stuff, but the animation budget won't stretch to a proper demonstration of the results. Gimlet. Here's a dwarf who knows the meaning of the word hygiene. He thinks it's a greeting. Still, at least his shirt front can act as a sort of menu. I wonder if this is that Cafe Olay everyone keeps going on about. Let's see what we have here. Rodent in a bun, rodent in a bag, live rodent on brochette, and stunned rodent cordon bleu prepared in a white wine sauce with shallots, truffles and small potatoes. Oh damn, they only served that one on alternate Tuesdays.
We have that mouse running around, so I think this is where we will get ourselves a mouse to get some mouse blood.
Hey there, sir. Hey there. What can I cook for you? We got the meals for one and all, a fixed price menu, and everything come with a pickle.
What's on the menu?
Oh, mice, sir. Mostly mice. Ethnic dwarf cuisine, sir. I got 'em baked, I got 'em glazed, I even got 'em on a stick.
Mice? You mean you're dishing out rodents?
Not just any old mice, sir. Big, fat ones. Prime squeakers, sir. Good pink noses, no finer in Ankh-Morpork.
What makes you say that?
Operation of the jaw. Tongue and vocal cords, sir. And then the words just fly out. Oh, sorry, you meant the food. Very select rodents, sir. And hygienically prepared, sir.
Rodents hygienically prepared? How?
I always wash my hands after touching them, sir.
Fair enough. Can't say fairer than that. A rodent bar. How lovely.
Prime eaten, sir. Vol au vents and ratatouille. Fresh caught at the table, sir.
And do you cook them?
Cook? And ruin the flavor?
Yeah, dwarf cuisine is typically served raw.
This may sound a daft question, but don't you have anything that isn't rodents?
We do have rocks.
Rocks?
Yeah, granite, quartz, some prime cuts of obsidian, fresh today from the quarry for my troll customers. Even some candy rock for afters. I know it's not mice, but, well, he seemed wise to spread my clientele, sir. Go for the troll dollar, that sort of thing.
Trolling for more customers?
That's the one. Candy rock, that's right, sir. It's like a toffee for trolls. Well, very chewy toffee for trolls. It might have a bit too much mica in it. The only problem is that it can make the teeth fall out. Bad for them, you see, sir. But I tell a lie, cause we're out of it at the moment. Someone ate all the wheels off the delivery vehicle. Happens about once a week, that does. Must be a la carte menu.
Haha.
Raw mice au naturel. Why is it I have such a sense of foreboding and dread?
Because you've been in this world too long, Rincewind.
All right then. One extra rare mouse burger.
Right, sir. Hey, I think I can hear one of the little squeakers now. There you are, sir. Extra rare.
Mousy. I will hold him and cuddle him and name him George. Or something like that.
Yep. Now, I did just have one horrifying idea occur to me. Just to see if this works.
Sawing that in half wouldn't help. Cutting that won't help me. I'm afraid I can't cut that.
Yeah. Gotta find some other way to get blood out of a mouse. Well, we only got one other location left in the Shades. I think we'll go ahead and call it a day after exploring it. And we still got a fair bit of the city to go through, but this is a good stopping point after we go through here.
Barkeeper, I'll have a pint of Winkle's Extra Flatulent, my good man. Down here! Oi! I said I'll have... Oi, come back here! Don't you know who I am? I am Casananda, the second greatest lover who ever lived, and the ladder salesman extraordinaire. Come back!
Yes, of course, instead of Casanova, we have the dwarven lover, Casanunda. That actually is a pun from the books. And Casanunda is actually kind of an amusing character. He is, in fact, a dwarven gentleman of fortune / highwayman who is, well, fairly charming in spite of the usual stereotypes involving dwarves. Of course, he can't really get the attention of this troll bartender.
Yep, it's become a sort of standard. Find a strange bar, you'll almost certainly find some matches in it somewhere. Matches? Normally I'm not allowed to play with these, but today we'll make an exception.
Very wise. And stretch all the way over to the left, you'll see that we have a vampire here.
Looks like a Bloody Mary to me, with the odd protozoan in it for flavour.
Oh, blood, blood, blood!
I'm sorry?
Nothing. Just trying to get into the role, that's all.
So, you're a vampire then?
Indeed. Child of darkness, hell brethren, that sort of thing. Well, it's a job. Someone's got to do it.
So what do you do? I mean, I've often wondered just how a vampire spends its time.
Well, I am the night, you see.
No, not really.
Well, that is just my point. How is anybody supposed to be the night? It's not much of a job description now, is it? It's not as if you're even asked. Just one night you're walking home and woof, you're a vampire.
Is it that bad though? I mean, think of all the advantages.
What advantages? You tell me.
Ooh, lower food bills, low cost housing, and black goes with everything, of course.
Yeah, but it's this whole night thing that gets me. I never stayed out beyond 8 PM in the old days, and now look at me. It's like the black hole of Jelly Baby out there. I keep falling over. Being undead doesn't mean I've got eyes like a cat, you know. I mean, I wish I had, but I haven't. So if I want to do any really good stalking, I have to carry a lantern, which pretty much defeats the whole business. I look silly.
Well, is there some way other than just stalking?
Well, I tried advertising. Wanted. Victims to be drained of their lifeblood by a hungry vampire. Yeah, you'd be astonished at how little response there was.
Quite.
And when I thought about it, the whole business seemed wrong. So I decided to give the whole blood thing a miss and start sucking something else. So I started on strawberry jam.
Did it work?
Well, it tastes better, but now look what's happened. See? I rotted my teeth.
Who ever heard of a vampire with false teeth?
I'd sympathise with you more if I didn't have this awful foreboding that I'm going to have to use you later on as part of some overcomplicated little scheme.
Oh, yes.
You're not a vampire?
I am! Look! I've got the cloak! I've even got the frilly shirt. Think I'd be seen wearing this lot if I was alive? Look at this! That's for draining blood, that is. Yeah, terrified now, eh? Frozen by my powers. Hypnotized by the terror that strikes out of the night.
Gothic horror is dead at last. I wonder if anybody will miss it.
Yeah, this is actually a nice little nod to Reaper Man as well, where there is a character who is a recently cursed vampire who is still coping with things. Oddly enough, we'll meet a slightly different version of that character later on, but you know, this is a nice little more specific nod to the whole vampirism is a curse, but not in the way you think thing.
So this is it. You're just going to sit in here and avoid being a vampire at all? Haven't you got somewhere better to go than a seedy little bar?
Where should I go? Oh, you want to see my home, my friend? A coffin at the graveyard. You call that comfort, 'cause I don't. I'll creep into the crypt at the dawn and not a moment before.
Hint, hint, hint.
A toothless old vampire drinking a Bloody Mary without much Mary? Can life or undeath offer any deeper degradation than this? If it does, I'm sure we'll soon find out. Let's just stop all this now.
What'll it be, lady?
Greetings to you, my good man. And who might you be?
Who?
You. I'm asking you what your name is. Who are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Amazing, isn't it? In any other city, you'd be mayor by now. Just tell me what alcohol you have to drink. And by that, I mean something which neither eats through the glass bottle, serves as host to a colony of sentient protozoa, or ends me up in any obscure, farcical little problems with chaos theory and butterflies.
That's all we've got. Protozoa. They're only little protozoa.
Ciliate or non-ciliate?
I think they're mostly rotifers.
Brilliant. He can't tie his shoes, but he can classify microorganisms. There's one for the education system. All right, give me one very alcoholic drink, complete with sentient rotifers.
You want I should make it look pretty with a couple of little amoebas on a steak?
All right, whatever. And they say the art of cocktail mixing is long dead.
Alright, so now we have a drink, which I'm going to put in rinse one because I don't think the luggage will drink it like he did in the first game, but why take chances?
What'll it be, lady?
Greetings to you, my good man. And who might you be?
Who?
You. I'm asking you what your name is. Who are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Amazing, isn't it? In any other city, you'd be mayor by now. Just tell me what alcohol... And by that, I mean... Or ends...
That we did
ciliate.
this before.
Brilliant. He can't... There's one for the edge.
Alright, we'll talk to Casanunda, who is, of course, holding the rose in his teeth. Actually,
Look, I'm afraid I have to be somewhere else.
just want to look at the guy now.
Casanunda, the world's second greatest lover. It would seem that small things do go a long way. A troll. Entirely made from rock, but probably not as smart.
And because I forgot to look at this guy earlier, or I thought I did.
One vampire. And a pathetic looking one at that. I suppose you might classify him not as undead, but more as anti-living. And look at his teeth. I bet they'd get the blood out of anything. Strange though, I wonder if they're real. And you are?
I am Casanunda, ladder salesman and lover extraordinaire.
I don't know if there's anything particularly ordinary about that.
Oh, how we danced, how we danced through the night. We danced, and we danced, till our socks were alight.
So you're the world's greatest lover, are you?
Second greatest, really. But the way I look at it, if people think you're number 2, then they know you try harder.
So, what does the world's second greatest lover do with his time?
Oh, I'm always looking for fresh challenges, sir. I look at it as my duty to bring a romance and step ladders into the lives of beautiful women everywhere.
Stepladders, eh?
Find some woman comatose enough to listen to that lot without screaming. That's a laugh for a start.
Hint, hint, hint.
This ladder of yours.
Ah, the finest ladder in all of the disc. The old equalizer, you might say. It allows the lover of a reduced altitude the opportunity to kiss his lady on the cheek instead of on the...
That's quite enough of that. Now look, I need a ladder. Can you get me one?
Oh, no, I only have one. And I need it for my romantic adventures. Introduce me to a beautiful woman, closer to the ground. A wild woman, a fair and beauteous flower. And the ladder shall be yours.
I hope it comes wash and wear.
Of course, we do happen to know of a comatose woman who might be able to tolerate Castaneda's presence. Of course, it's a bit of a joke because in the book that he appears in, Castaneda winds up falling in love with Nanny Ogg, not Granny Weatherwax, but he is not really that picky either.
I found your perfect woman, I think. Or, to put it more accurately, I have found your greatest challenge. She's over in the mortuary.
You mean she's dead?
She doesn't seem to think so.
Hey, that's good enough for me.
And thus we now have a stepladder.
A ladder, long and solid, just the thing to beat myself unconscious with and finally get a bit of kick.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to do that, but we will continue exploring Ankh-Morpork and grabbing every single little item we can next time. Until then, take care.